Hi everyone, it's Jerry. I have another interesting game to share with you. On the white end, LeelaKnightOdds, no king knight, playing against Grandmaster David Paravyan, dropstone on lichess. Alright, this was a 1+1 time control, played October 7th, with bishop g5. I guess we can still call this the Richter-Veresov attack. Black's reply is knight b to d7. Very solid approach. Knight's connected, ready to replace f6 in the case of a capture. Let me ask you, what do you think Leela's next move is? Feel free to pause the video. Okay, this was my main takeaway from this game. Leela here plays h4, in a way trying to highlight a deficiency behind this early queen-knight development. The bishop's eyes are masked. It doesn't see h3. And not long from now, we're going to see that this h4 move is not only about acquiring space on the king side, but there will be a pivot for the rook. A rook h3 to g3 maneuver causes black difficulties getting castled by applying pressure to the knight pawn. All right, we continue here with c6, h5. Black doesn't want to see this pawn go any further, so gives the bishop a kick. To f4, queen b6, b2 secure, e5. Now, not too many days ago, I covered a game with these two playing where it was the Jobava London, and e5 was played with the bishop being kettled. I encourage you to check that game out if you have not already. Paravyan went on to win a fantastic game with this e5 idea. Okay, we're seeing e5 yet again. Pawn takes pawn. The idea here, knight g4, and we have a double attack. This pawn will be won back. Double attack here is on e5 and f2. f2 covered, bishop ready to go. Black regains the pawn. And here we go. Rook h3, bishop e7, bishop e2, bishop f6, king f1 castling by hand, knight c5. Okay, rook is under fire. Here we are with rook g3. Now, castling is going to drop this h6 pawn. Castling, you're in a pin. It's a bit uncomfortable now for black with this arrangement right here. This is a very strong piece, this dark square bishop. There's a restriction on the bishop. Bishop has a responsibility defending pawn and knight. This bishop challenged here. Queen d2. Okay, if captured, this knight's going to have to find a new home. Doesn't end up capturing it. Bishop d7. Now, I imagine when black was playing this game, you don't want to castle kingside, so with bishop d7, I would expect black to be thinking next, okay, I'm going to castle queenside. This bishop may not always be there, it can be swiped at any moment. Leela may be already sniffing out the idea to castle queenside. We see now b4. Sort of justifying this earlier, at the time, strictly defensive move. You were just there to defend a pawn. Now you're supporting a pawn, maybe even looking forward to a b5 break. Black holds up b5, but now there is a pivot to work with. Knight a4 with tempo, queen back home, knight c5, knight exchange, bishop lives in this case. Double isolated pawns, who cares about this? There's rook activity. Now, one of the things that stuck out to me with this game is this current position. This knight only has one square, but if you go to it, this square, this pivot on d6 is available. That's a really disruptive piece. If you try challenging it, you have to work out the details with this pawn being swiped. Castling kingside, bishop captures h6 is there. This bishop can't move. Knight pretty much can't move. King can't move. Look at how black is sort of tied up in a knot here. Bishop falls back home. Another underdeveloping move to babysit b7. Follow up king g1. Now this is the first move you wouldn't be able to play if you started out this game with the king knight. I was curious if, this position was here with the king knight still around, what would be a best move? What would be the evaluation? Evaluation with a king knight would be plus 1.5. And a top move would be to develop it to f3, challenge the knight. And in the case of a knight capture, you recapture with the pawn nearby bishop d6. Again, could be a very irritating post. Okay, we don't have the king knight here. Computer considers this position winning for black, but it remains difficult. We have king g1. From here, queen e7 is played. Now it does say you can castle. Castle, allow this capture, and then play king h7. I don't know that you're going to find many players playing in this fashion. No castles in this game. We have queen e7, pressure on c5. The square is also available now. Leela hops to it. Defense. Follow up king f8. Castling by hand may be the way, but this takes many tempi. We have from here rook b4. Now, these rooks are playing. Black's rooks are not. Rook b4 now supports, after king g8, an e4 break. This king wants to go to h7, e4 sensible in a way. Let's try and remove a defender of e4. Maybe somehow or another the queen or the bishop can get to that e4 square and be disruptive. Challenge the king post on h7. Black's approach here is to try and keep things a bit on the closed side. So he plays d4. Pop quiz. How would you respond here? Feel free to pause the video. Okay, Leela goes ahead and picks up this pawn, welcomes the following tactic. We see it on board. Black's play here is with knight f3 check. Discovered attack. The pawn is the one that recaptures. The bishop wants to go here, so no recapturing with the bishop, no recapturing with the rook. Let's stay trained on this g7 pawn. It's the pawn that recaptures. A square is also available for the king now on g2. Bishop captures rook. No improving move with the king in this position. This might be a very natural move to play, but there's more important things to do. First of all, got to cover that c5 pawn. So bishop d6, queen e8, and now bishop d3. If you were to, let's say, improve the king here, let's say king g2 is played, bishop e5 would be very strong. This will simplify the position. And what you would like to play in response to bishop e5 is f4. But if you play f4 here, there's bishop captures bishop, followed by queen captures pawn. So my point is that this would not be an appropriate moment to sort of tuck the king in and play king g2 here, as natural as this is. Bishop d3, much more appropriate. Eyeing this post on h7, it is no longer going to be stable. From here we have bishop e6. If bishop e5 is played here, there's f4. And if bishop takes, there's pawn takes, a passed pawn. This point is secure. Okay. Leela playing this position after bishop d3, playing down a rook. But black's rooks don't play, continue to not play. In this game, it is bishop e6, double attack, bishop saved, the pawns roll, f4, rook d8, e5, bishop h4, rook e3. From here, bishop e7 is played. At the top, the computer points out queen d7 with an evaluation minus 1.5. If queen d7, what you would be asking for is f5, targeting the bishop, the light square bishop and dark square bishop. It's saying from here, capture on f2, and then go ahead and take on f5. Okay, black recognizes this double attack now, so withdraws the bishop. White is now for choice from here, continues to roll with the pawns f5. Let's just pause for a moment. Leela here is playing on 6 ranks. Another thing that grabbed my attention. 6 ranks Leela is playing on, whereas black is playing on just 3. Black started with the extra piece and is getting pushed around. Look at these invasive pawns. 4 planted in black's camp. Bishop d5, queen g4, 16 to 2. What am I talking about? The mobility of the queens. 16 options for the white queen, 2 for black. Huge space advantage here for Leela. Follow up, bishop captures bishop. Take towards the center. Nearby, there is f6, taking advantage of the pinned pawn. Rook g3 idea. Black gets out of the pin. And after c4, black ends up losing on time, but forget about the loss on time. This is a completely busted position. Even if black had some more time in this final position, I would expect resignation right about now. I tested out a move. If this game played out another move or two, let me show you how crushing this is for Leela. Let's say the bishop plays to e6. You take the bishop, queen recaptures. Look at this monster piece. The queen only has 1 square back on rank 8, and then you could just play a move like c5 and say to black, what do you have here with your major pieces? Nothing. Completely crushing position here by white. Okay, it only goes as far as c4 here, and this one is over. Anyhow, what are your thoughts with this game? I continue to be impressed with these LeelaKnightOdds games. Feel free, as usual, to leave any feedback to this video in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed it. Maybe took a thing or two away. That's all for now. Take care. Bye.